We are living through an amazing period in human history. For the last 100, or some would even say 200 years, the West has been overwhelmingly dominant. Islam was subdued. They didn't even get a say after the conclusion of World War One. The West basically laid out the framework of civilization, i.e., nation states. Muslims didn't even get a say. But fast forward 110 years later, something is changing. Islam is making a comeback. And for some reason, Islam is actually determining the future trajectory of evolution of Western civilization. Some people are starting to notice. Listen to this African American guy.
We got to get our shit together, American people. This is the second time a group of individuals had come to the United States of America and told us, the American people, what the fuck they about to do. The second time. I'm not understanding. What don't you guys understand? It's not about color. It's not about race. Before any religion and shit mentioned, we motherfucking Americans first. You got to understand that shit. We'll get back to beefing with each other later. We must show unity immediately.
This is what I said a couple of weeks ago, that we will hit a point in our civilization where all of our primary indigenous grievances will have to be put on hold. Whether you're an African American, Native American, Latin American, white American, whatever grievances you have, which are deeply rooted in history, some spanning over 200 or 300 years, they will have to be put on hold, because when you zoom out, you look at something else happening. You look at a very dominant, well, some will say arguably very successful civilization on the outskirts of Western frontiers, on Western civilization's frontiers. Islam has been trying to take control of the West since its inception. They made it to Spain. They sat there for 700 years, and then they tried to go into Western Europe further, and they were defeated by Charles Martel on the borders of present-day France and Spain. And then when Spain was recaptured, Islam was reduced to North Africa and the Middle East, where they did fairly well. The Ottoman Empire emerged, and Eastern Europeans were regularly enslaved, and they were basically puppet or satellite states for the Ottoman Empire. Now imagine such a civilization that is used to dominate its neighbors, that is used to have a say in world affairs, reduced to nothingness. You don't understand. I grew up in Pakistan, and many philosophers of the East, of the Muslim world, spoke about it at length. They dedicated their entire lives. For example, Muhammad Iqbal, a famous poet, the national poet of Pakistan, his entire thesis was on re-establishing the Islamic Caliphate and reacquiring Islam's lost role in worldly affairs. And obviously, he existed in the early 20th century. He saw how the Ottomans were defeated by Western forces. So he wasn't happy about that. And then he died in 1937 or something. This was the age of nation states, about which the Muslims had no say. The Ottomans were not asked whether they are okay with this new world order. Why would you ask a loser? In fact, a lot of Muslims of the time believed that the West introduced the concept of nation states to break up the caliphate, so Muslims don't get united and act as one big power that could challenge their power. I don't know whether that's just a conspiracy theory or good thinking on the part of the West. Doesn't matter. What matters is that Islam was completely shut down and told to go and sit in that corner over there. We, i.e. the West, will decide what happens. In fact, the West kept becoming more and more powerful. They kept becoming industrialized. And then they had this horrible World War II on an industrial scale, something that had never been seen before by humanity. And that further solidified the world order by the victorious group of competing Western societies. And that's where the United States entered. The United States emerged as the sole superpower of Western Hemisphere. And it only had to compete with the communists, not Muslims, the communists. The communists were successfully defeated in 1991. And then the golden age of Western civilization began. In the 90s, a lot of thinkers at the time of the collapse of the Soviet Union said that this is end of history. That's it. We're done. Islam was defeated nearly 80 years before. The communism is gone. But look at the irony of history. Both of those forces have now joined forces to dismantle Western civilization. And this is the time why I'm playing you this video. Us, inhabitants of Western civilization, beneficiaries of Western civilization, need to understand that we need to unite regardless of our grievances. I'm not going to invalidate the grievances of the African American community. I'm not going to invalidate the experiences of white American community. But we will have to put it on hold because these two other moving parts are coming at an alarming pace to collide with Western civilization.
It's imperative. And you motherfuckers ain't understanding because people are showing us discipline. They are showing us how to unite and be disciplined. You don't understand the level of difficulty it takes to be able to reach that type of discipline. We are under attack. I can't not stress this shit as much as I can. We got to put all that other bullshit aside. Everything in the United States has taught us to divide each other. From money, from motherfucking the restaurants we eat at. The people who got the money eat at the better restaurants and stay at the better hotels. The people who got the money drive the better cars, live in the better houses. We've been taught to be divided since we've been children. So they understand that that is our weakness. They understand that if we're going to attack them, this is where we got to attack them. And I'm telling you, you can motherfucker, as big as we are, you can kill an elephant with a fucking knife if it never knew you was coming. And right now, y'all don't know this shit coming. I can't stress this shit. We are under attack. We must show unity and move as one. We must start with pending 100 fucking counties and removing our dollar. 2 major cities, every fucking state, we don't spend our dollar. We go to the suburbs and we let them know what we fund, we will control.
I don't know his bigger point because there might be some other nuances that he's introducing that I'm not really familiar with. But I do understand his overall message that he's being told by non-Americans how to run America. And he's obviously finding offense to that. And you should find offense to that. You have Mamdani openly saying that he's a Democrat socialist. There's no such thing as that. They all end up towards communism. And then you have people like Abdul al-Said who say that Muslims hate you. Muslims hate you. Muslims hate those Americans who push back against Islam. Muslims hate those people who do not want an increased role of Islam in American politics. So these people are united. They're loyal to their cause. They're motivated. And they're not suffering from lethargy. They have an objective in front of them. I am telling you as a former Muslim, world domination is one of the central aspects of Islamic doctrine. One of these central aspects. In Islamic eschatology, Muhammad repeatedly said, the whole world will fall to Islam. This is why you have heard Muslim scholars say repeatedly in America and in Europe that Islam will enter every house.
That Islam will enter every house. Every house. Don't worry about the Islamophobes. They can yap all they want. Their children will be Muslim.
Your children will be Muslim. Your daughters will be wearing burqas and abayas. And what Abdul al-Sayyid said, I have so many of these videos. The Muslims have been telling you what they want to do, that they hate you. Listen to this.
It is from our religion that we have to hate them for the sake of Allah. We love what Allah loves, and on the opposite of that, we hate what Allah hates.
Let's not beat around the bush. We don't love each other. We're not on the same page. We are not friends. Does that make sense? We are enemies.
Very simple. No integration, no multiculturalism, no diversity, no tolerance. I've got my own deen, you got your own deen. You got your democracy, we got our own sharia. You got your own free mixing, we got our own nikah. Own cheating within the marketplace, your own credit cards. We got our own economic system. We got our own foreign policy. We got our own deen.
Have you had enough yet? Listen to this guy. He's American.
America is the cancer. America, the American government, secularism, democracy, capitalism, These are cancers that have spread their illness all over the world.
So that's the mentality. That's the ideology that you're dealing with. And the very same ideology is propping up these Muslim politicians like Abdul al-Sayyid. Are you going to be taken for a fool? Check out this American. He's noticing it. And every American needs to be aware of this. Every American needs to pay attention. Yes, you're different from the UK. Yes, you are different from the Canadians and the Australians. But we all are liberal democracies, and we all share our weaknesses as well as our strengths.
Can't make this up, guys. I am standing in the exact place where we are doing a Jesus march in 1 hour, and look who's here. A massive march, a massive Muslim march, where right now they're singing over Chicago. Muhammad is the only one. May Allah be lifted up. They're declaring that all Jews and all Christians would be removed from this city. I mean, this is, you know, I've been talking about this over the last week, and yet here we are right in the middle of it. Our cities in our nation are being fought for in the spirit. I don't know if you need any more example than this right here. We didn't make this happen. We literally just walked up to the exact place where we're doing a Jesus march today in Chicago. And there's a massive Muslim march where they have been declaring over the city. And you know what? The church in...
And they do that everywhere. They do that everywhere, guys. This is the slow Islamization of every country. Look at this. This is London Sharia Council.
This is another one of those Sharia courts. This one's up in Wembley, in West London. Unfortunately, there's over 85 of these Sharia courts operating across the UK. It's quite outrageous, though, that an invading foreign religion sets up its own legal system to run parallel with the native British legal system.
That is what happens in a country when you allow illegal immigrants with values that do not align with Western values to take over your country.
And not just illegal migrants. Most of these people are probably legal migrants. When you bring in people from antithetical cultures, the assumption that they will leave their ideological loyalties and traditional grievances at the airport, I'm sorry to say, is one of the most idiotic ideas the West ever concocted.
With absolutely zero accountability. In many ways, London has fallen to radical Islam. And I want to be clear, we are not anti any religion on this show. This is not about being Muslim. This is about what happens when you let 85 Sharia law courts operate under their own laws independently of the laws in the United Kingdom.
You have basically created a parallel society. That's what it entails. And this is, again, this is happening in America. All those mosques that are springing up in Florida and Texas and God knows where, what do you think they're doing over there? They do their nikah ceremony, which is a marriage ceremony. They do that. Under the Islamic marriage, i.e. the nikah, women don't get the same rights that are codified in American law for them. If there is a divorce, she only gets, 20% or something or whatever? Completely above, completely overriding what American law ensures for every single individual living on American soil. Isn't that the whole point of the rule of law? That in the eyes of the law, everyone is equal. Isn't that the point of it? But how come our liberal democracies or our liberalism in the name of tolerance allowing parallel societies with parallel legal structures? This is why it is important for every single non-Islamic American, even Muslim, liberal, moderate Muslims, even them, they have to join forces against Islamism. That's it. It's against Islamism. The political application of Islam is Islamism. That's it. Wake up. Wake up. It's only going to get worse.